It gives me great pleasure now to introduce a fellow alum of Yale Law School. We didn't go there at the same time, but Professor Sam Rugege, I hope I have your name correctly, is an extremely distinguished jurist who did, among other places, graduate Yale Law School and Oxford University, and was a professor before he ascended the bench, was himself a victim of great repression and discrimination in Idi Amin's Uganda, and is now serving as the Chief Justice of the Republic of Rwanda, a country which obviously has experiences that are worth sharing in any conference on genocide. So it's my great pleasure to introduce the Honorable Chief Justice, Professor Sam Rugege.
Thank you, Professor Alan, for that flattering introduction. I'm not as distinguished a scholar as he makes it out to be, as you'll find out soon. But I'm very happy to be here. I'm grateful to Professor Kotler for seeking me out and inviting me to join you in this very important symposium. It's my first time in Poland, the first time to attend events commemorating the Holocaust, so it's a great learning experience. And from what I had this morning, there is a lot to learn. Talking about Nuremberg Trials, so much has been said about it, and I know so little about it that I will not dwell on it, except to say that we owe a lot to Nuremberg in terms of development of international criminal law, particularly in the principles that made it possible to prosecute individuals under international law, which was not possible before Nuremberg Trials. The fact that even heads of states can be prosecuted and not have immunity as a defense, the fact that people can be made responsible for neglecting to control those under their authority who commit crimes. These, I think, are very important principles that were developed in international law. And I think without Nuremberg, we probably wouldn't have had other international tribunals such as ICTY, ICTR that came later. As we celebrate the events of Nuremberg, the 70th anniversary of Nuremberg, as Professor Kotler mentioned this morning, we also commemorate the 22nd anniversary of the genocide of the Tutsi in Rwanda. That genocide took place many decades after Nuremberg, many decades after the 1948 Genocide Convention, after many declarations of never again, nevertheless, the genocide against the Tutsi in Rwanda took place under the watch of the international community. The same people who had adopted the 1948 Genocide Convention, the big powers who were watching while people were being slaughtered, 1 million people killed in barely 3 months. So it always worries us that that never again will never become permanently, never again. And I'm a bit pessimistic about the future. However, the international community, although it did nothing to stop the genocide, and in fact fled while people were being killed, it at least set up an international tribunal after the genocide to try those most responsible, just like was done at Nuremberg. Those who were planners and organizers and organizing the implementation of the genocide were captured and tried, although there are still many at large, but at least up to 90 prominent persons who engaged in genocide were tried by the International Tribunal for Rwanda. And that tribunal also continued the development of international criminal law. So we appreciate and acknowledge the contribution of the ICTR, especially in developing the law relating to rape as a weapon of genocide, as an act that can constitute genocide. The media case, which also developed the law relating to the role of the media in propagating hate speech and being part of the precursor to genocide. There are other cases that are important, brought out by the ICTR, that will help scholars, students, researchers to learn about genocide and to learn about international criminal law. Nevertheless, just like any other international tribunal, it couldn't handle too many cases. As I said, only about 90 people were prosecuted. So what happens to all the people who participated in the genocide? As we say, 1 million people, over 1 million people were killed. They were killed by other people. Are we going to let those people get away and probably continue their horrendous activities? In Rwanda, we had a history of atrocities committed since 1959. After the genocide, the Rwandan people got together and agreed that This time, never again will be done by the Rwandese people. They'll make sure it does not happen again. So they set up courts based on traditions of Rwanda, called Gacaca courts, which were set up in different villages, over 1,000 courts in the country, and tried those who had participated, committed crimes in the genocide. And so at the end of 10 years, about 1 million cases, about 1.9 cases were adjudicated by these members of the community, elected by their community members. This was not, cannot be called victor's justice, because it was done by the community themselves, electing their own judges. And it was done in such a way that you could see justice being done, perpetrator, at least survivors or relatives of victims, confronting the perpetrators directly, truth being told, and people finding out where their loved ones were buried, so they can be reburied in dignity. So that helped to bring about some form of healing and to make possible forgiveness. If those who were perpetrators asked for forgiveness, the victims or relatives could give them that forgiveness. That has helped the country to heal and to move forward, so that they can concentrate more on development than revenge or anything like that. In conclusion, because I see the time has run out, I just want to reflect on the future. As I said, I don't see us moving forward, because we can see atrocities being committed in Syria, in South Sudan, in Darfur, and the international community is still not doing very much. So how are we going to ensure that we progress from 94, when our people were killed? How are we going to prevent other genocides? There is a serious problem of genocide denial and genocide ideology. People have been talking about denial of the Holocaust. We have the same problem with the genocide. So how do we make sure that hate, the preaching of hate, does not spread through the young people and become a cancer, so that it will lead to other genocides? I think I'll leave that to you to see how we can move forward from there. Thank you.
Thank you so much.